Okay. The first question is, what do you remember about being pregnant?
I remembered that it was a fabulous time of my life. I wasn't at all sick. I felt actually somewhat energetic. I was ecstatic that I was going to have another baby. And so my pregnancy was very, very simple. And no morning sickness, no negativity as far as things like that. So it was a very positive, wonderful experience.
And what did you do to prepare for the birth?
Since I had already had a child, I kind of knew what to expect, and I had been through Lamaze with my first child. So with this child, I actually did not do any specific preparation for it, besides, of course, getting the nursery ready and getting the baby stuff ready, and that's about it.
Where did you give birth?
At Tarzana Regional Medical Center.
Who was there with you?
My wonderful husband, Dave, and the
And a driver.
What? Is that it?
Yes, that was it.
Okay.
I'm a very private person. I would not want a lot of people in the room with me.
How did your experience of giving birth compare to how you ideally wanted it to be?
Oh, actually, just like my pregnancies, all of the deliveries are very, very simple. So, like, I think every woman prays for an easy, almost pain-free delivery, and that's actually what, I did receive. And so I think it was very much in line with my expectations.
How did you feel physically and emotionally after I was born?
Oh, so blessed to have had a girl. I was so convinced I was having a boy. And so emotionally, probably one of the highest points of my life. Physically, I was fine. I wouldn't say I was. I think that the adrenaline of being so excited to have a baby girl made me physically not super tired or anything, that I felt just generally energized.
Okay, what were those first few weeks like for both of you?
Well, Emma was a baby who actually spent 10 days in the ICU unit, so that was a very stressful time. And so we ended up staying with my sister, and because she lived close to the hospital, so we would go back and forth to the hospital. And it was extremely stressful the first few days when she had tubes in every part of her body. But as time progressed and as the 10 days got closer to the end, she started to do a lot better. And we were just ecstatic at the end of that time that we were able to take her home. And when we took her home, I think the first few days were pretty decent. But, just like with any new child, babies cry a lot. You get used to their schedules, and they get used to you. And so I would say it was after the hospital stay, we felt so blessed to have a healthy girl that we were just happy to have her home with us.
And why was I in the ICU?
Because they believed that she had a staph infection, and it all kind of originated 5 hours after she was born. They brought her back and said that she seems like she has liquid in her lungs, and so they took her for some further testing into the ICU, and they thought possibly she has a staph infection.
What were the first few weeks like for you?
Same thing. We were a little concerned that they took Emma into the ICU unit. She was there for 10 days. So we would have to, every time we went and visit her, it was a 20-minute preparation. We had to scrub down, and because there were other children who were at high risk, so we would go in there and spend time with her. But even at that time, we knew Emma was a fighter, and she had strong lungs. And when she wanted something, you definitely knew that Emma wanted something. So we were excited to bring her home.
Okay. How did you know what to do?
Well, since we've had prior children, I think it was pretty just more or less following the same routines that we had used in the past. And so we received education when her older brother was born, and she also has other older siblings. So I think that it's just information that we received over time that we applied to the new baby.
How did you get the information in the first place with Dylan?
Oh, we got it through like Lamaze classes, reading books, and that's about it, I would say, and talking with the other parents at the time.
Yeah, I also had experience. I have 2 older children, so.
Okay. What kind of help did you have in the first weeks after my birth?
I would say that we really didn't have any specific help. That we had a housekeeper who would help me with the baby, and besides that, I don't think that we received any particular special help at that point in time. And like I said, she had spent 10 days in the hospital initially, and so we were just all glad to be at home, and I didn't necessarily feel like I needed additional help since the delivery was so simple too.
How did the material circumstances of your life shape your experience of pregnancy, childbirth, and early parenthood?
How did the experiences repeat
How did
that?
the material circumstances of your life shape your experience of pregnancy, pregnancy, childbirth, and early parenthood?
Go ahead, Dave. You go first, and I'll just add to yours.
I mean, so I was raised by a single mom, so I had 2 other siblings. So a lot of what we did was we had to be self-sufficient, grown up. Although we did have a grandmother living with us full time, we learned to rely on each other and rely on ourselves. So we knew how to basically care for ourselves. So I think with my wife coming from a family of 10, that she would have a lot of the same experiences.
And as far as shaping the views on the pregnancy and that, I would say that I was always around people who were pregnant, that when they were pregnant were very happy and positive. So I would say that that influenced me as to believe that pregnancy is a wonderful time of life and that having kids is a true blessing. And for the most part, I would say that's it.
Okay, and then last one. If you could do it all over again, would you do anything differently? What and why?
Why? We have the perfect child. No, nothing different. Because like I said, the whole idea of pregnancy and having kids wasn't a new concept. We knew we wanted to have more children. And so I would say that there wasn't really anything that we would do differently. We were older parents, we were financially stable, so not really.
Okay, do you have anything to add?
No, happy with the way it all worked out.
Okay.